Hi, I'm Frank Infurna. I'm an associate professor of psychology here at Arizona State University. So the goal of this paper really is more of a rebranding of what constitutes midlife. It's a very understudied and underappreciated period in the life course. And really when you talk to people and you tell them about midlife, the first thing that comes to mind is the midlife crisis, which makes for good TV, movies, and so forth, and jokes and humor, and but in reality, there's so much more than just some crisis, and really only a very few number of people actually experience a true midlife crisis, whether it be going out and getting a fancy new red sports car or elective surgery. And so in this paper, we're trying to talk about how midlife is more about these opportunities and challenges. So the opportunities part is people are at the peak of their career, work their way up the career ladder. Also, middle-aged adults are really the bridge between multiple generations. So you have your aging parents on one side, but also your children and adult children, and typically midlife is when individuals become grandparents as well. So there are many positive things that are happening, but also a lot of what we talk about is really the challenges that individuals are facing in midlife, especially in current society. And really one of those are the changing relationships with these multiple generations. So people in midlife are finding themselves to be caregivers for their aging parents and in-laws at increasing rates. And part of that is because of the baby boomer generation is more and more of them are living longer into old age. And also, although the economic recession of 2008 happened more than 10 years ago, the ramifications are still being felt. So adult children, more so now, are living at home than 10 years ago. And a lot of that is because they're unable to find long-term stable employment. And also they're competing with, they have a high burden of student loans that can also have them be deciding between, do I pay a mortgage and get a house and start a family, or do I have to delay those sorts of life goals? And then the second component of really the challenges of what we talk about is the financial vulnerabilities that middle-aged adults are confronting. So there's particularly in the US, a shrinking social and healthcare safety nets. There's no federal policy for paid family leave. And if you need to take care of an aging relative, it's really state dependent. We started the paper looking at what do we know, or what are some of these misconceptions that we can debunk. And then we went into talking about what are some general trends of how middle-aged adults' mental and physical health is changing or has changed compared to older cohorts. And what we're finding is middle-aged adults are reporting higher rates of depression and anxiety and more of these deaths of despair. And also when we looked at the physical health component too, so there are increasing rates of metabolic disease and also disability, so limitations with everyday activities of daily living, which is alarming in a sense because there's been quite a lot of research in midlife that has documented how the health behaviors that individuals are engaged with and their key physiological markers such as blood pressure and cholesterol, how individuals are doing in midlife have long-term effects on old age, and how if people are unhealthy in midlife, just because you retire and you transition into old age, it doesn't mean you're going to be healthy again. So I think it's of extreme importance to be in a healthy state when in midlife, because it foreshadows one's health in old age. Yeah, if you're struggling, whether it be having to caregive for your aging parents, or maybe you're dealing with a repositioning at work because the company is getting younger, to know that you're not the only one going through this struggle, and that it's happening to millions, tens of millions of people in the US, and that more is yet to be done in terms of studying this phenomena and then also intervening as well. I think kind of translating what's been known now out to people so that they can use this knowledge to the best of their abilities.